The Prophet's room. Having finished the building of his mosque, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, started to build a room for Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. The room was 4 meters wide and 5 meters long. Its door was at only 3-meter distance from the mosque's entrance. This means that the total area of the master of all humans was only 32 square meters. The house consisted of a yard and a room. In the yard, a sheep was tied and bread was baked. There was a curtain that separates the yard from the mosque. Inside the room, there was a bed, a bagpipe, a cup for drinking, and a bowl for washing. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, lived in this room for 10 years. That's to say, until the end of his life. If Allah had wanted, He would have granted him a fascinating life. Allah said in the Holy Quran, "Blessed is he who, if that were his will, could give thee better things than those, gardens beneath which rivers flow, and he could give thee palaces." Mujahid said, "In the present life, in this room, he lived the most beautiful marital life with the mother of believers, Aisha, the most beloved wife, may Allah be pleased with her. He always sat with her and listened to her talking in joy. They washed from the same bowl where their hands crisscrossed to capture water in a loving way. On her bed, he spent the night praying. Whenever she stretched her feet in the direction of Kaaba, he would touch her slightly so that she moved them. In that room, he also prayed Al-Fajr Sunnah and laid on his right side until Bilal would tell that it was time for the Fajr prayers. Then he would leave to the mosque. The room witnessed periods that extended for 1, 2, or even 3 months with no fire lit and nothing to be cooked. They fed on water and dates. The revelation came down to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, many times in this room. Once, Khawla bint Thalaba came to him in his room and pleaded to him that her husband divorced her by dhihar. So Allah revealed to him Surat Al-Mujadilah. Allah has indeed heard the statement of the woman who pleads with thee concerning her husband. Whenever he, peace be upon him, stayed in the mosque doing extra acts of worship during i'tikaf, he would off and on stretch his head to the room so that Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, would fix his hair. In addition, in that room, he offered food and water to a total of 70 persons from the people of Sufa. When the time came, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was passing his last before death. He told his wives that he would like to die in this room. At that time, he was at his wife Maymuna, may Allah be pleased with her, and all his wives agreed. When his sickness increased, his wives gathered around him. He asked them to spill water on him from 7 bagpipes, and they did until he was satisfied. Then he got up and made his last speech to the people. He said that if anyone claims any right from Allah's apostle, he should come to take it now. Aisha was reading surahs from the Holy Quran and wiping his body with his noble hands. The last prayer he led as an imam was Al-Maghrib, or sunset, in which he recited Surat Al-Mursalat. Then he went back to his room. Abu Bakr continued to pray as an imam for 3 days. At the dawn of the last day of his life, he opened the curtain that separates the mosque from his house. His companions were praying, and when they saw him, they were about to lose control of their prayers. That was the last he saw them, and the last they saw him. Although it had been left to him by Allah to decide whether to live forever and then go to heavens or to leave to meet Allah, he decided to leave now. Among the things that he warned against was the word not to use his tomb for a mosque or a place for ceremonies. He reminded of the importance of prayers and the generous dealing with the people that belong to us. He said, "Care for your prayers and for whom that belong to you." It was from his prayers, "May Allah forgive me, spare me, and gather me with the highly you." At the last moment before death, his beloved wife took a siwak, chewed it in her mouth, and gave it to him to use on his teeth. That siwak, he felt, was the best that he had ever used, and it had just come out of the mouth of Aisha, his most beloved wife. On Monday, the 12th of Rabi' Awwal that year, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away, and his soul went back to its Creator. 3 people participated in washing and coffining him. They were Ali bin Abi Talib, Al-Fadl ibn al-Abbas, and Osama bin Zayd. His coffin contained 3 white Yemeni pieces of cloth. He was kept on his bed from Monday to the end of Tuesday, and the people prayed for him in groups. His companions prayed individually. Then came the women, followed by children, to say their prayers. The companion Khuli bin Aus al-Ansari dug a grave in the same place where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, died. The grave had an inside indentation which embraced his holy body. Above the grave there was only a small pile of dirt, no construction of any sort. After burial, his daughter Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, said to the companions with sadness, "How could you dump sand on the Apostle of Allah?" Meanwhile, Aisha preferred to stay at home close to the body of her husband. In the 13th year of Hijrah, her father, the righteous Caliph Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him, died. Before that, he had asked the people to bury him near Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So a grave behind that of the Apostle was dug for Abu Bakr, and he was buried with his head in front of the shoulders of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Again, Aisha preferred to stay at home, close to the bodies of both her husband and her father. Later, towards the end of the 23rd year of Hijrah, Abu Lu'lu'a al-Majusi murdered Caliph Omar with a knife by Fajr prayers. When Omar felt he was dying, he requested Aisha to be buried near Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the remaining area beneath the room. She said, "I have kept that place for myself, but today I give it away for Omar." So a grave was dug for him behind that of Abu Bakr, in a parallel line with the feet of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So Omar got what he had wanted, and Aisha added another curtain between her and the graves, and lived there until the end of her life, which ended in the 57th year of Hijrah, and was buried in Al-Baqiyah.